trying to. Oh my goodness, he's trying to prove that Joe doesn't live out in the basement. I know that's a high definition. I know that that's a high definition screen there to fool me. Travis is at a green screen convention trying to prove things.
Oh, I'm at a green screen convention, and this is how high tech it is in Joe's house. Just
That's
all
right. Joe's house is like
see, look,
mono green screen
above grounds.
Crazy.
It's also crazy because how would Joe even know if the screen was green?
That is the best side of
it. Maybe that's the one color he can see.
No,
Joe's
that's colorblind.
That's like one of the colors he can't see the most.
He can't see the most green. Maybe all the screens are green then. He doesn't know.
Shit. Could be right.
Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of Two Trolls and a Brew, episode 86. We very nearly missed the show. Subtitle this week is also Joe is here.
Sorry. Maybe no.
So on this week's show, we're just going to do a short and sweet. We had like elaborate plans, but then Travis arrived in town and did Travis things. And being Travis, aka the most popular person in Salina, getting time to do things with Travis is like an uphill battle.
Yeah, well, you know what they say.
I should have found somebody else to record the show with this week.
Yep.
He warned you.
I tried telling you.
Well, I mean, unless you're me.
I know.
Because then all I have to do is walk to the living room.
That's right. Like I said, I figured this would still be good. We'll just do a short and sweet one, and we'll try to record another one again this week and get it out.
That's going to be.
But I figure we just difficult, yes.
Yeah, like more difficult.
But I figured we could just jump in because we did manage to draft together both on Friday and Tuesday. Is that right?
Oh yeah, there was that one.
But I figure we just talk about Friday's draft because I don't have Tuesday's draft on me. I don't remember that much about it other than
oh right, the day that I
Kaladesh. And I wanted to do what Travis would do, and I forced red artifacts, and I didn't win.
And instead of playing them,
games.
You got milled by me.
I did.
That was.
I also have to play. I think one set or maybe a couple of games of that draft, and I think together we had 40 of our like 20 lands in our two decks on the table.
Yeah. No, it was because I had 17 lands, you had like 17 or something, and together we had like 36 lands in play, and it's like, wow, no, this is a fun game of nobody do anything ever.
That's right. Draw, play a land, go.
Yeah, pretty much.
I realized that day, I think it was Tuesday, that I was just going to have mana flooding issues. Like, it didn't matter. I could kept a no-land hand and flood out, I think, on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, that definitely sounds
like we have. I'm 100% sure that was true. But Friday, we had a much more interesting draft. What do you remember in particular from like your first pack, Travis? I feel pack 1 was very interesting.
Pack 1 was bullshit. So I opened up the Archdemon of Ifnil. Yep, that one.
Right, one where the big daddy Archdemon.
Yeah. And then that one was like, so I tried to force a cycle/discard. Started off with that. But I was getting cut black from the left. So like, all right, I'm going to splash, go blue and try and get some good stuff there. And then that didn't really happen. So pack 2, is coming from the right. I opened up a foil Hazaret. I'm like, no, I'm going to switch strategies now and go aggro. But the person to my right was in red, so I didn't get nearly enough aggro out of that. And then pack 3, I opened up the Glorybringer. I'm like, well, damn. Got to try and force everything now.
Yeah, I to like focus down on pack one for just a minute. So Travis and I were
can't do
sitting
that.
across the table, right? Like, I think
Yes.
there's people between us both ways.
Yeah, 3 each.
So you first picked your cycling payoff card, right? And I first picked that cycling red spell that does 4 damage or 7 damage or something, but does 2 damage if you cycle it.
Sure.
Whatever that card is. And I'm like, well, this is a good removal spell. I'll take this and be open. My rare was crap. And then I got past Drake's Haven. And I'm like, okay. And then these just insane black blue cycling cards just kept coming through.
Any plates or anything?
So I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to do this. Meanwhile, you were 4 people away. I think whatever stuff, like, because you were definitely in the black cycling, right? But not the blue cycling,
Yes.
pack one. So I was getting things like River Serpents, Shadow Storm Viziers, and Pitless Viziers, or Pitiless, whatever they're called. That whole first pack. Not sure what cycling cards you were grabbing pack one in particular.
I can't remember.
Okay. But I do know that Ambition, somewhere early, there was a pack that had a Faithful Devoted and like another good cycling card. I think it was Stir the Sands. So I took Stir the Sands over it. And then warded with a Faith of the Devoted in pack 3. So I don't know. I really like this deck overall. I had 2 Scribes of the Mindful, a Wander in Death, the Faithful Devoted, a couple of Hieroglyph Illuminations, Sacred Excavations. But what really made the deck go was the Liliana's Death Mastery. You had Hezret, Glorybringer, guy, and I completely moved out of red. So you could have been a red black cycle-ish deck. Is that what you ended up being?
Yeah, more or less. It was too slow.
Like, I didn't get a chance to look at your draft.
Oh yeah,
and that's
get apart.
That's what ended up happening to me as well. The match that I actually lost, I kept, I think, double Pitiless Levere, double 1-mana cycle card, and like 1 final reward in lands. But by turn 3, when I was able, or turn 4, when I was actually started to be able to play threats and stuff, I just got rickrolled by the guys 2-drop into 3-drop into drop. And then I was able to win game 2 off the back of like Stir the Sands and Shadow Storm Vizier, whatever the flyer is. And then game 3, I got turn 3 Gideons. Right the hell out of that game. That is an unfair magic card on turn 3.
Only if you're playing against it.
Exactly. So my turn 5 Liliana was not able to keep up with his turn 3 Gideon.
No,
That's
did
an
they ult
important
it
lesson.
immediately?
Yes. They turn 1 they ulted, or not turn 1, but the turn it came down they ulted, and then they just attacked every turn after that. But
You should have stopped it.
well, I did eventually. I was able to final reward it.
Finally.
No. But the problem is that
I would have.
the guy was playing a good. I think he ended up winning the tournament actually at the end of the day.
Who, Lemonade?
I don't know if he cut out on.
And then he was able to, so on my turn 4 I played a blocker, and then he like the fight cartouche card on turn, and that like put my whole game plan because he tried to pick up his trial and it was all bad news from there. I think I ended up misplaying there. I should have let him kill my creature, killed the Gideon, and then dealt with stuff later. I don't know. I know. How was your draft, Joseph?
I ended up going blue-red. I had my first pick was a glyph keeper, and then after that, my packs just sucked. I got past.
Time, is that what's going on?
What's the little red guy? When something gets activated.
The Harsh Mentor?
Yeah, I got one. I got past one of those, so I was really.
I was trying to help.
Oh yeah, you're helping. I had a few just bombs, and then a lot of just red fast like minotaurs and flyers.
So here's a question, Joe, for you since you're here. Normally, you don't get a lot of times to draft, but lately, because your job is primarily during the school year, right? So now during the summer, you've been drafting a lot more. This is a good draft environment. Oh man, I'm about to be able to see inside your soul.
I enjoy the draft a lot more than like modern or standard right now. I don't have the card collection for modern and standard.
Right.
Really.
I told you this was gonna be bad.
It's great. This is the best show ever.
I do enjoy
If you're not watching the video stream,
I really didn't enjoy the artifact set very much.
Why? You could see all the colors.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The energy thing seems to be like in standard right now. I don't have the energy cards, so
right?
Not very fun for me in a standard format at the moment. But I do like the draft situation we're sitting at. I think it's pretty well balanced depending on which way you want to go. Doesn't matter the colors. Nothing has a clear advantage over anything else, color-wise. That is.
I would almost disagree. I would say base green. Like so, green in drafts lately. The previous couple of sets have not been so good. Base green cat is just phenomenal.
I didn't get a chance to do a whole bunch of drafting on the artifact stuff. I know I didn't care for it as much, but I can see that.
Yeah, there's that 3/1 cat for 2 mana that untaps a permanent once it does combat damage to a player. I think we talked about this a little bit last week, Travis.
It's a 3/1.
But I said,
I don't know.
did my dyslexia kick in? If so, F you, dyslexia. F you. But yeah, whatever that cat is, that 3/1, it's a very real aggressive card. Like, it doesn't really accelerate you to 4 mana unless you're playing an instant. But just that ability to untap a creature, especially something that you've exerted, it's just insane. Real clock very quickly. I'm actually considering... I started playing the... What is it called? Magic Duels. It's like the Xbox game, but I guess they also have a Steam version, so I downloaded it. And I started fiddling with it. And I'm going to actually see about going on, just meeting my objectives or whatever. I'm hoping that I can put together some sort of on-arc, I think it's a champion or something. The guy makes a guy not be able to block when you exert. And that green 3/2. And see if I can't build something to just power through everything. Out of commons and uncommons.
The little cat, the little 3/1 cat that comes in for 2 mana.
Yeah, that's exactly the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. I like the flash guy too. He's kind of useful, and he actually is a 3/2.
The pouncing cheetah.
Yeah, because anything you can play on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, and again, that's something that you could, mana accelerate into. For example, with because it's got flash. If you got stuck on 2 lands, you could attack, untap a land, or float 2 mana, untap a land, and flash that into your combat or whatever. So, I mean, I like all those flash dudes. I think green's very strong. I think the green commons are very good. I don't know if there's any green rares that I would be insanely happy to take, other than like the Hydra.
The Vizier, the Hydra, the Enchantment, the God.
All those are good.
Okay.
the Planeswalker.
Yeah, if I would have
Sure,
set up
sure.
with Anissa, that would have been pretty awesome.
But I don't know. Like I said, when I just start thinking about like the powerful cards that I've seen out of green, the commons and uncommons I think are at such a high level that in the Hydra, I can't think of a single one off the top of my head. And then you of course rattle off a whole bunch, but like by the time you add in the trials and the cartouches and these really efficient fast creatures, like green seems way better than it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Kaladesh well enough. Obviously, I decided to be a Travis during this Tuesday draft, and it didn't work out for me. But we can also talk just a little bit about standard because we got to do a little bit of standard playing. I think Travis and I also that Tuesday before we started drafting, where Travis utterly annihilated me.
Told you.
The standard.
To be fair, it was another. It continued that day that that I had way more lands than ever. But I don't know what did you learn from those games that we played before? Anything, Travis?
I learned that it's always fun when I can deal 20 points of damage to you with no interference.
That's true. That's true. So, for those of you who haven't looked at Travis's Fling deck in a long time, I don't know if we actually have an updated version of it anywhere.
Probably not.
We might try like laying it out and grabbing a picture of it this week. But basically, the idea is like flounder until you can get your Darksteel Colossus, or not Darksteel Colossus, your Metalwork Colossus, and then fling it, and then either fling it twice or
Have
clone the fling. Oh no, I was actually very impressed with your deck. I think you basically said it either wins or it loses based off of whether or not it misses.
Right.
Like
Well,
if you hit, you're unstoppable. If you miss, you're just dead.
yeah, and I think the thing is I need the all 8 of the draw artifacts.
Okay.
Like the Metalworks Puzzle Knot and the Prism. If I don't get any of those, then it's just kind of like, all right, well, hopefully this extra 3 life will save me.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. I noticed that you had a lot of kind of situation where you're digging, trying to find the card. I think out of the, what did we play, like 10 matches or something? Somewhere in that ballpark. I think I took 2 of them down.
Yeah.
Where you whiffed before I could kill you. But almost every single game, like, I was 1 turn away from winning. But that doesn't really matter if you win that turn, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's very good. It attacks from a weird angle. I feel like counter spells are not your friend.
Yeah, but I have 6 cards in the sideboard now for counter match it.
Right.
So it's like I have, like the main board, I have 3 metallic rebuke.
Right.
And then
And those actually got me a lot, I have to
Yeah.
say. Like after the first one you threw at me, I had to play not really scared, but I had to
cautious.
I had to start rearranging my spells to bait them out.
Right. And even sometimes when you tried baiting them, I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Or like
Right.
I take the minor threat and it still kind of affected you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one situation where I think I wanted the tokens to stay. So I tried to play a Nissa, or I made it obvious that I was essentially.
Yeah.
I played to get the 2 tokens, and you went ahead and countered that spell, and I was like, but I wanted you to. Clearly, I was going to cast a second spell.
Yeah.
So I mean, it took me to turn off my Nissa. Like, I remember that moment, and I was like, man, I guess I sequenced cast this Nissa first because I didn't care. Like, I was trying to make the creatures to sacrifice to the ingenuity. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think that those main deck counter spells were really nice, and it took me by surprise for sure. I don't know if you were going to go to a bigger tournament, or if you were sticking around for these PPTQs coming up in a couple of weeks. Speaking of which, the 25th at Goblin Games and Hayes are PPTQs. If you're in the sound of my voice and you'd like to come to Kansas for a PPTQ. And then the arena is the 26th. So if you're interested in playing Magic with yours truly, that's where you need to be. One of the locations.
Nope.
Joe is yours truly.
Joe's is my truly.
Yeah,
Hi, Joe.
Yours truly.
I guess we're married now. You can come live under my table and be my new table midget.
Married.
Married.
No, I don't agree to that.
No. No, come on. Oh my goodness.
I barely make enough to support me. I can't support a wife.
I mean, that's true. That's true. You would still have to work and be my table midget wife. That'd be really awkward. So, I don't know. We just wanted to knock out a quick show last week. We really didn't have a ton of time to prepare a show or do things like we normally would. I'm still hoping to record a more in-depth show. Travis' imaginary land of South Dakota or North Dakota or West Dakota or wherever Dakota.
I think
Where
West
you live
Dakota
now.
is worse than South Dakota because West Dakota is Wyoming and that place sucks.
Dakota.
Okay, how about East Dakota?
Well, I haven't been to Minneapolis, but I know Iowa's in that area and that place is awful too.
Geography by the Two Trolls. As always, everybody, you can check out this episode and all past episodes at samusgrobo.com. You can email the number 2trollsbrew@gmail.com. Hopefully we'll have time to really get into emails and such next week. I feel like we have a couple. I glanced and I went, yeah, we should probably save these for next week. Twitch.tv/samusgrobo, youtube.com/samusgrobo. You can check out this video podcast if you'd like to really get an idea of what's the inside of Joe's nose looks like. You can watch there. Of course, twitter.com/power319 if you'd like to see all sorts of exciting tidbits about Travis's trip. Apparently, there was an invitation to become a godfather, and that lasted about 5 seconds.
No, it was a good time. So he was like, "Hey Travis," I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Would you like to be the godfather of my kid?" And my immediate response, I just wasn't even thinking. I was just like, "Yeah, but can you have someone else do that?"
I think that's basically. I think that basically sums up Travis's trip exactly.
Yeah.
Right there. Here's an important thing to do. Can somebody else do that?
Yep. That's like the whole premise of my life. Oh, this is interesting.
Basically, that
Someone else do it.
this is a good opportunity for you to sign off the show, by the way.
Oh, bye, troll, everybody.
Troll.
Oh my god. I cannot stand this. Like we're going to have to record one at the arena with a group, right? And I'm pretty sure it's going to give me an aneurysm, just straight up aneurysm. I don't know. Hopefully we can make that happen this week. That'll be a lot of fun when you guys get to see me die on screen.
It would be the best for everybody. Troll on.
Troll on, everybody. Just say troll on, mother trucker.
That was close enough.